Lovely viewers, gather close for this heartwarming story that has been quietly melting hearts behind the scenes. Imagine a soft evening glow, laughter echoing gently across a beautifully set dining table, and the kind of warmth that can only come from family coming together with love and intention. This is the story fans can't stop talking about. Lee Min-ho hosting an intimate family dinner to celebrate song Hye Kyo in a way that felt deeply personal, meaningful, and unforgettable. According to whispers circulating among those close to the couple, this was not a flashy celebrity party, not a red carpet affair, and certainly not an event staged for cameras. Instead, it was something far more touching. Lee Min-ho reportedly wanted the celebration to be about appreciation, gratitude, and love, the kind that doesn't need an audience to feel powerful. He chose a quiet, elegant setting where every detail reflected thoughtfulness, from the lighting to the menu, and most importantly, the people invited. What made this dinner especially emotional was the intention behind it. This wasn't just a celebration of Song Hye Kyo's achievements or her public image, but a tribute to who she is at her core. Those familiar with the evening say Lee Min-ho wanted her to feel cherished not as a superstar, but as a woman, a daughter, and a loved one within a family circle. Can you imagine how rare and beautiful that is in an industry where everything is constantly under the spotlight? As family members arrived, the atmosphere was said to be calm and affectionate. Conversations flowed easily, filled with shared memories, gentle teasing, and heartfelt laughter. Song Hye Kyo, known for her grace and quiet strength, was reportedly visibly moved. Sources say she smiled often that evening, the kind of smile that comes from feeling safe and understood. Fans who know her story understand just how meaningful that kind of moment can be. One of the most talked about moments of the night was when Lee Min-ho personally welcomed everyone and took time to express why the dinner mattered to him. In a soft but sincere tone, he reportedly spoke about admiration, not just for Song Hye Kyo's talent, but for her resilience, kindness, and the way she carries herself through life's ups and downs. Those words, shared in front of family rather than fans, were said to carry a different weight altogether. And lovely viewers, here's where it gets even more touching. Instead of extravagant gifts, Lee Min-ho is said to have prepared something deeply symbolic. A small, thoughtful gesture, something that represented shared memories and quiet promises rather than luxury. People close to the family hinted that Song Hye Kyo was emotional upon receiving it, her eyes glistening as she held it close, fully aware that the value lay in its meaning, not its price. The dinner itself was described as warm and homely, with dishes chosen to reflect comfort and familiarity rather than extravagance. Some of Song Hye Kyo's favorite foods were reportedly included, a detail fans found especially sweet. It wasn't about impressing anyone, it was about making her feel at home, surrounded by people who genuinely care. Throughout the evening, observers noted how naturally Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo interacted. No exaggerated displays, no forced moments, just quiet understanding, shared glances, and effortless companionship. These subtle interactions spoke louder than any public statement ever could. Fans reading between the lines couldn't help but feel that this dinner symbolized something deeper: respect, emotional maturity, and a bond built on sincerity. Family members, too, seemed relaxed and comfortable, which only fueled speculation that the connection between the two stars goes beyond surface-level admiration. Laughter reportedly filled the room as stories were exchanged, with Song Hye Kyo herself opening up more than usual, surprising even those who know her well. It was a night of connection, not performance. As the evening drew to a close, the mood remained soft and content. There were no dramatic farewells, just lingering conversations and gentle goodbyes. Song Hye Kyo was said to have thanked everyone personally, her voice filled with warmth, and Lee Min-ho, ever attentive, reportedly stayed by her side until the very end, ensuring the night ended as beautifully as it began. Now, lovely viewers, here's the part that truly has fans emotional. Those close to the couple suggest that this dinner wasn't just about celebrating Song Hye Kyo. It was about creating a memory rooted in family, stability, and intention. In a world where celebrity relationships often feel fleeting and performative, moments like these feel refreshingly real. So what do you think this intimate family dinner truly represents? Was it simply a loving gesture or something deeper, a quiet statement of commitment and respect? Does this kind of celebration tell us more about Lee Min-ho's character than any interview ever could? And how do you feel knowing Song Hye Kyo was honored in such a sincere, private way? And as that gentle night faded into memory, lovely viewers, the ripple it created did not end when the last candle was blown out or when the final guest stepped through the door. In many ways, that intimate family dinner became a quiet turning point, a moment that continued to breathe long after the plates were cleared and the room returned to stillness. Those close to Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo say the days that followed felt different, softer, as though something meaningful had settled into place. In the morning after the dinner, Song Hye Kyo was reportedly unusually reflective. Friends noticed a calm glow about her, the kind that doesn't come from good news headlines or professional success, but from emotional fulfillment. She was said to have mentioned in her own subtle way how rare it felt to be celebrated without expectations, without pressure, simply for being herself. And for fans who have followed her journey through triumphs, heartbreaks, reinvention, and resilience, that sentiment hit deeply. Lee Min-ho, on the other hand, was described as quietly satisfied. Not boastful, not dramatic, but content in the knowledge that he had done something right. Sources say he checked in with family members afterward, thanking them individually for coming and for helping make the evening special. That alone spoke volumes about the kind of man he was choosing to be in this chapter of his life. Present, intentional, and grounded. Lovely viewers, what makes this continuation even more touching is how the meaning of that dinner continued to unfold in small, everyday moments. In the weeks that followed, subtle changes were noticed. Song Hye Kyo reportedly became more open in private conversations, laughing more freely, speaking with a softness that hadn't always been there before. Those closest to her felt that the dinner reaffirmed something she had long needed to feel again: belonging. And let's talk about belonging for a moment because it matters. In the world of fame, belonging is often the first thing sacrificed. Relationships are scrutinized, intentions questioned, and even the simplest gestures can be misinterpreted. Yet, that evening was protected from all of that. It existed only for the people in the room, and that privacy gave it power. Fans, of course, began to notice subtle hints. A softer smile during public appearances. A calmer presence during interviews. A certain ease that hadn't been there before. No grand announcements, no confirmation posts. Just a quiet consistency that spoke louder than words. Viewers began to speculate, not with chaos, but with curiosity and hope. One fan commented, "She looks peaceful." Another wrote, "He seems grounded lately." And isn't it fascinating how love, when it's healthy, doesn't scream? It whispers, settles. It becomes part of the rhythm of life. Behind the scenes, that family dinner also opened doors to deeper conversations. Those close to the couple say it encouraged discussions about values, future hopes, and the kind of life they both wanted beyond fame. Not plans carved in stone, but shared understandings. What does home feel like? What does support look like on hard days? How do two people protect each other's peace in an unforgiving industry? Song Hye Kyo, known for her introspection, reportedly expressed how much it meant to be welcomed not as a celebrity, but as a woman with a story. She was said to have felt respected, not judged by her past, not defined by previous chapters, but embraced for who she is now. For many viewers who have walked similar paths, healing, rebuilding, learning to trust again, this struck a powerful chord. Lee Min-ho, too, was said to have shared parts of himself that he rarely reveals publicly. Thoughts about balance, about wanting moments that feel real, about choosing quality over noise. Those conversations, held quietly after the dinner or during calm moments in the days that followed, reportedly strengthened a sense of mutual understanding. And lovely viewers, here's where the story becomes even more inclusive, because this isn't just about two celebrities. It's about the kind of love many people long for but rarely see portrayed honestly. A love that honors healing. A love that understands timing. A love that doesn't rush to prove itself. As time passed, family members reportedly remained in gentle contact, sharing photos from the evening, revisiting funny moments, and reminiscing about how unexpectedly meaningful it all felt. These weren't dramatic exchanges, just simple messages, warm check-ins, and shared smiles. And in those small gestures, something lasting began to take root. Publicly, both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo continued their professional lives as usual. Projects, endorsements, schedules, nothing outwardly changed. Yet those who pay close attention could sense a shift beneath the surface. A steadiness, quiet alignment. It was as if that dinner had anchored them emotionally, giving them something solid to return to amidst the chaos. Lovely viewers, imagine how powerful it is to know that somewhere in the world of flashing cameras and relentless scrutiny, two people are choosing to protect something sacred. Choosing intimacy over exposure. Choosing meaning over spectacle. And then came the subtle gestures that fans adore. A familiar accessory appearing more often. A shared color palette in outfits. A quote in an interview that seemed too intentional to be accidental. None of it confirmed anything outright, yet all of it felt connected. Fans didn't feel manipulated. They felt invited into a softer narrative, one built on observation rather than declaration. For Song Hye Kyo, that dinner seemed to reaffirm her worth in ways words alone never could. Friends say she carried herself with renewed confidence. Not the loud kind, but the quiet assurance that comes from feeling valued. She reportedly expressed gratitude for being surrounded by people who saw her heart, not just her image. Lee Min-ho, meanwhile, was said to have embraced a quieter lifestyle outside of work. More time spent with trusted people. Fewer unnecessary appearances. More intention in how he showed up. Some even say that hosting that dinner reminded him of what truly matters when the lights go off. And lovely viewers, let's pause here and ask ourselves, how many times have we all wished to be celebrated like that? Not with grand gestures meant for social media, but with thoughtfulness, presence, and sincerity. This story resonates because it reflects something deeply human. As months moved forward, the memory of that night continued to influence decisions. Song Hye Kyo reportedly became more selective with commitments, prioritizing emotional well-being. Lee Min-ho, too, was said to be more mindful of his time. It was as though that evening had quietly reset their compass. Fans began to speak differently as well. Less gossip, more admiration. Less demand for confirmation, more respect for privacy. Many viewers expressed appreciation for the maturity of the situation, acknowledging that some stories are better told slowly, gently, and on the people involved's own terms. And then there were the conversations among viewers themselves. People sharing their own stories of healing, of finding love later than expected, of being welcomed into families that felt like home. The ripple effect of that one intimate dinner extended far beyond the individuals involved. It sparked connection among those watching from afar. Make it much longer. And so we continue gently, lovely viewers, allowing this story to breathe, unfold, and deepen in ways that feel honest, inclusive, and close to the heart. Because some stories are not meant to rush toward a conclusion. They are meant to be lived in, reflected upon, and felt, slowly. After that intimate family dinner became a quiet anchor in their lives, the emotional echoes continued to surface in unexpected ways. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in moments so subtle that only those paying close attention would notice. Pause before answering a question. A softened gaze when a familiar name was mentioned. A sense of calm that wrapped itself around both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo like a protective layer. Those close to Song Hye Kyo say she began to rediscover joy in simplicity. Morning walks felt lighter. Conversations felt more present. Even silence felt comfortable again. It was as though being celebrated in such a pure, grounded way had reminded her that she didn't have to constantly prove her worth. She had already done enough. She was already enough. Lee Min-ho, too, appeared changed in ways that fans found quietly reassuring. He was said to listen more, speak less, and choose moments of stillness over noise. Friends noticed that when Song Hye Kyo's name came up, there was no tension, no need to deflect, just calm acceptance. And that, lovely viewers, often speaks louder than the most passionate declaration. As time passed, Family connections subtly deepened. Occasional shared meals. Thoughtful check-ins. Small gestures that didn't make headlines but built trust brick by brick. Song Hye Kyo was reportedly touched by how naturally she was included. Not as someone being evaluated, but as someone already accepted. That kind of inclusion can heal parts of the heart that even love sometimes can't reach. And let's talk about healing, because this story resonates so deeply for that very reason. Many viewers have walked similar paths. Loving deeply, losing painfully, rebuilding slowly. Seeing someone like Song Hye Kyo honored with gentleness rather than spectacle gave many people permission to believe again. Believe that love doesn't expire. That second chances can be kinder than first ones. That maturity can make love safer, not duller. In private moments, those close to the couple say conversations grew more meaningful. Not about fantasies but about realities. About protecting peace. About navigating fame without losing oneself. About how to support each other when the world becomes too loud. These weren't conversations meant to impress. They were meant to understand. Lovely viewers, this is where the inclusivity of this story truly shines. It doesn't ask you to idolize perfection. It invites you to recognize effort. It doesn't sell a fairy tale untouched by reality. It offers a love shaped by experience, scars, and wisdom. As weeks turned into months, fans noticed something else. How both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo seemed more aligned with themselves. When people are at peace internally, it reflects outwardly. Their energy felt balanced. Their presence felt intentional. And that family dinner, once just a quiet evening, now felt like the emotional root of that transformation. There were no public confirmations, and oddly enough, that made the story even more powerful. Viewers felt respected rather than teased. Trusted rather than manipulated. It created a shared understanding between public figures and their audience. Some things are sacred, and that's okay. Fans began sharing stories of their own. How they were welcomed into a partner's family after heartbreak. How a simple dinner changed everything. How being seen without judgment restored their confidence. The comment sections transformed into spaces of connection rather than speculation. And that, lovely viewers, is rare. Song Hye Kyo was reportedly aware of this quiet support. She was said to feel grateful that people were allowing her story to unfold naturally. That they were cheering not for drama, but for peace. For growth. For happiness that doesn't need to shout. Lee Min-ho, on his part, continued to show his affection through consistency rather than grand gestures. Being present. Being reliable. Being intentional. Hosting that dinner wasn't a one-time act. It reflected a pattern of thoughtfulness that continued long after. And sometimes, lovely viewers, the most romantic thing isn't what happens once, but what happens consistently. Choosing someone's comfort again and again. Choosing respect when attention would be easier. Choosing patience when impatience would be louder. As seasons changed, the memory of that intimate dinner remained quietly alive. It became one of those moments people look back on and say, that's when things shifted. Not because everything suddenly became perfect, but because something solid was built. Song Hye Kyo reportedly described feeling lighter, as though a long chapter of emotional heaviness had finally closed. Not erased, but honored and released. Lee Min-ho was said to feel grounded, more certain of the values he wanted to live by, both personally and relationally. Lovely viewers, let's pause again and reflect. How many of us are searching not for fireworks, but for safety? Not for attention but for understanding. This story matters because it mirrors those desires so honestly. As this narrative continues to unfold quietly, one thing remains constant: the sense that this connection is rooted in respect. Respect for individuality, respect for timing, respect for privacy, and respect for the people who have walked alongside them, both in life and from afar. So as we continue to watch, let us do so with kindness, with patience, with hearts open to the idea that love doesn't always announce itself. It sometimes simply shows up, sets the table, lights a candle, and says, "You matter." If you've stayed with this story until now, lovely viewers, thank you for holding space for gentler narratives. Share your thoughts, your reflections, your own moments of quiet celebration. Because stories like this remind us that even in a loud world, softness still has power.